Everyone, and welcome to the HRL Track Madness 2023 tournament. I'm doing a video on this today to advertise it and hopefully get as many people to fill this out as possible, because it's something that Optics whipped up for us to do over the off season. And usually, or not all the time, do we have something to do during the off season. Usually that winter break is just it's just that it's a winter break, long off season, not too much to do. So instead of having a completely empty off season, Optics worked on this to give us something to look forward to and work on during the off season. It's pretty cool, and it should be familiar since we've done something like this in the past. So I'm going to go through it today to make sure. We talked about it on the Discord. I put a post out on the YouTube channel as well, doing a video now too. We get as many people to do this as possible, because it's pretty sweet. It's going to take a bit. It's going to be, I want to say, I'm sure it's listed in here somewhere, but about a month long process. But we've done this before, and in a similar format, and it goes by really quickly, even though month seems like a long time. We know it goes by really fast. All right, so I'm gonna go through the post, and also I of course have already filled this out, so I'm gonna be editing it. That's why some of the stuff's already filled in. It's got like my information, stuff like that, whatever. It's got all that stuff. So obviously it'll look different for you when doing it for the first time. Okay, so over 4 years ago, attempted to run in this tournament featuring all the 100+ Halo 5 tracks we have raced up to that point. As we approach the end of 2023, time has come again for HRL Track Madness. Point is simple: decide what the best track HRL has raced in 2023, determine what it is through a series of polls and choices that lead up to selecting the winner. Unlike 2019's, the 70 tracks here span different games, different time frames when they're created, an even greater variety of track types. Tournament will first take place over a group stage and then the main event. 48 track single limb bracket. Parameters for how you vote which track wins are all up to you. So that's the thing, right? There's nothing to keep in mind, like, oh, what factors am I weighing these tracks or voting on these tracks? It's up to you. Whatever makes a good track to you, and however you want to vote for it. Just like 4 years ago, the tournament starts with a tier list and a group stage. Select which tracks make the cut into the bracket. This time around, there's some minor differences. Instead of divisions simply based on the style of track, there are 16 smaller groups of 4 to 6 tracks each, organized by any combination of the Friday series it was raced in, the Sunday event the track was raced in, style of track, length of track, the game the track was on. If none of that applies, it just placed it into groups that, I don't know, they're ordered in some way. This is something that ties them together if none of that stuff works. In terms of rating, it's the same. It's the usual like tier list scale: S, A, B, C, D, F. F being like the worst, bottom tier; S being top, best tier. S being god tier, best of best track, down to F being a write-off. However, this time there'll be an option to select the question marks. Means you're not sure and you're abstaining your votes. So if you don't know a track, or if you didn't race on a track and you don't feel comfortable rating the track, you can always do that and fill that out and just basically say like, yeah, I don't know enough about this, whatever, but I still want my votes to count on the ones that I do know. So this is something that I think some people might get hung up on, is like, oh, maybe I only raced 14 different tracks or whatever this year. Came in later in the year, or maybe raced earlier, didn't race much later, whatever it was. Maybe I didn't race a full schedule really, and it's like, oh, do I want to fill this out now? Well, yeah, I'd still say so. And it should make it quicker too, because if you don't know the tracks, you just question mark, run through it, get to the ones you know. Makes it a little bit faster too, a little bit less daunting maybe. So especially if you haven't ran a full schedule, I'd say check it out. Recommend trying to rate every track properly, being that there have been many events. Most people haven't seen every track. Maps are available to find, and this is what you want to do. If you haven't, I'm not saying if you haven't raced them, you don't have to vote on those tracks. You can check out the videos yourself. You can, find them, race them yourself. If you want to do that and then rate them based off that, you can do that too. It's just totally up to you. Be a screenshot of each track. This is the most helpful thing in my opinion. Screenshot of each track to help jog your memory. Most, not all tracks here will also have VOD of them being raced on the HRL YouTube channel. Have until December 29th. So yeah, we're getting pretty close to that. We're getting pretty close. I'm posting this video, uploading it as soon as after I record this. So we're getting pretty close to that. December 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern to fully complete. So yeah, if you're watching the video now, or possibly like the next day, like the 28th, not that much time, so please check it out. Be able to edit and update your choices until then. In terms of how the rating system will work for the group stage, how the bracket will be formed, interest of not adding a ton to this wall of text. If you want to nerd out a bit on numbers, you can read a separate document here detailing the scoring system as for how tracks advance. Here's that. I'll like give you guys a quick scroll through that. I'm not gonna, I don't want this video to be too intense either, so I'm not gonna fully go through this. But here is this. You can pause here if you want to check it out if you're curious about how all that works. So there's that. Or of course you can just go to the forum and find it there. As for how the tracks advance, the tracks that win their group make the bracket and get a bye in the first round, ordered into 1 through 4 seeds in each region based on their group stage rating. Tracks that place second in each group make the bracket, start in the first round. 16 next highest rated tracks out of the remaining total track pool advances wildcards, also start in the first round. The second in group and wildcard tracks will all be ordered together into 5 through 12 seeds in each region based on the group stage rating. Remaining 22 tracks do not advance. Aww. F in chat. Any tracks that receive a question mark vote for more than half the voters in the group stage will not advance. I encourage researching, taking the time to watch the videos of the races, trying them out yourself if possible. A few tracks possible dealing with this. So yeah, again, if you don't know the tracks and you just want to like fill it out, this is something you can do, but definitely, would prefer if you try to, even if it's just like a minute, you just watch like 1 lap on YouTube would be enough to, get your own take on it. So something like that. With that, let's kick things off. There's 70 tracks to the tier list, 2 tier list and over a week to do it. So don't feel the need to rush. Well, now this time is there to rush. Take the time to research if you can and want, as well as reminisce on some of the fond and laughable moments in HRL throughout 2023. Votes will close on December 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Same time our race nights generally start. Bracket will start on January 1st, 2024. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Definitely like that. That's cool. Okay, so just to show what it looks like, again, oh no, I'm going to expose my, oh no. Oh no. All right. So this is what it looks like. I don't really care about my ratings being shown. Do I want to edit these? Like I gotta think about this, man. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah. So basically there's a bunch of different pages. I don't want to influence anything with my ratings either. So I'm just going to show this first page, but like for example, this first page, how he said they'd be grouped on different things. This first page is pretty obvious what it is. It's the go-kart stuff that we did on Infinite. So the Infinite go-kart stuff is all on this first page. And as you can see, like you're saying, you've got the different tiers and you go through and you rate them. For example, I gave Cupid's Comet B tier, moved on. I gave Kadara's Creek A tier. I'm bumping that up. I might want to go back through mine. I'm going to go back through mine after I finish recording because I already on the first page wanted to change one. I might keep changing. Yeah, I'm going to go through and edit mine. He said you can edit it until then. Lansing, I gave C. And Eagle River, I gave S. So, and there's a question mark there. So you can do that as well. And you can see the screenshot for all of them. And that's obviously very helpful. Like for me, even though I set up a lot of the stuff with the league and, work on a lot of the tracks, check out a lot of the tracks, stuff like that. Even for me, there was some deep cuts in here and it was pretty hard to remember. But as soon as I saw the thumbnail, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that. So that the screenshots help a lot. So if that's something you're worried about of like, oh, I'll have to go through and I'll have to do laps and all these, I'll have to watch VOD. You might not have to. You might not have to. Like, definitely check it out. Go through it. The screenshot might be enough to jog your memory on some of these. Like for me, it was for a lot of them, honestly. So yeah, that definitely helps a lot. So there you go. So basically, yeah, you do all that other stuff. You go through here, you go through the different pages. Eventually you get to the end and that's it. And then if you want, for further parts of the tournament, stuff like that, just keep an eye out in our Discord. There's a whole text channel dedicated to it. Keep an eye out on that. Maybe I'll do videos as it goes through. It'll give me some video content to do throughout the season too. Maybe I'll, the off season rather, do some videos like that covering the different group stages and parts of the bracket and advancing it. Might be a fun thing to do. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to end the recording. I'm going to upload this. I'm going to go through and probably edit some more of my responses because I already did on the first page. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Hopefully we get some more people to fill this out. And yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. I'm curious to see. I actually am really curious to see how this ends up looking because of what we did this year. Like the big grouping of like different tracks and different games, and then also like goose and hog tracks. Like it's a really weird grouping this year. So I'm very curious to see how this ends up, because there's gonna be so many different opinions there, and takes for people on these different tracks, different games, different vehicles. Like it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, I forgot. I didn't realize he had the notes. Didn't go so well, but it wasn't fault of the tracks. I didn't. That's funny. I didn't notice that. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope this helped. And I'll see you in maybe the next video covering the Track Madness. See you there.